All right, guys. So I had to set a database up on a cloud server for a web app that I'm making. And that's what I did is I've already set it up, but it took me a while to. It would take me a long time to edit the film while I was going through, so it'd be easier for me just to tell you about it after I've done it. So what I've got is a resource group set up here on Azure. I'm using an ADU account, which is $100 worth of free credits for a year, which is pretty good doing something like this. So what we want to do is now that we're on our resource group, SQL database. Okay, SQL database here. This one right here. All right, database. Yeah. All right, now what we're going to do here is it should populate with the resource here, maybe. There. We're going to apply this offer here. This one is it wanted to be no charge, and we get some compute with it. That's fine, and we need database name, which we're going to TEST 123. All right, cool. And server we're going to use is going to be, I guess we're going to use the server here. I already have a bunch of these. It's going to cost us $0. We're going to continue the database afterwards. Worry about your networking. You want to allow the services to access the server for sure. And add a current client IP address for development. Looks good. Okay, this defaults on this is great. It's going to be encrypted with TLS. Perfect. Right. Security. We're not going to worry about that. It's a free trial. Ledger, we don't need to worry about. All right, so go to additional settings. We're not going to use any kind of existing data. We can use sample backup or not from the server. The SQL Latin one is a default in there. Leave that there. That's the default for maintenance window. We're not going to use the on tags. So there's our SQL database basically set up. We'd create it from here. You click this button. It's been. I'm not going to do that because I already have one and be redundant. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go home, go back to our research group test. Here we have our SQL database server. But what we're going to do now is we need to make a Redis cache. So there's Redis. Right. All right, there it is. Creating the server. I don't want to do enterprise. Okay, buddy. Is it right in front of me? I'm just not saying it. All right. So the student account, we're going to cache for this. We'll create. All right. We'll go in here and use our student. We use the same resource group. Again, T 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Region, same region that we were in. That's important. And we want to 99 spray cache. We use minimal, and I think we can actually that's cheaper, I think. Anyway, so then we would go for networking, which we're use public endpoint for this because the ease for me on this, and it's not going in production yet. The advanced, I think everything's default. Yeah, everything's default on this. I changed this to access key, obviously, as opposed to I don't use this itself intra authentication, so it's not set up. We're not going to do any tags. Review and create. This is where we, after we validated, we would create this, and then we'd have our cache. Okay, and then from there we get our information, link everything together. Now we do have to create one more item for this. Go back to our resource group. Yeah. And we're making a, I think it's just ELOB. All right, let's go. Break all. Let's see. So it's storage count is what we need, right? So we'll set up like a storage account for, it's one here. We're not using ARM, obviously. Student storage account, we'll create this. And then same things going on here. Storage account name, related. Okay, it's available. No, of course, taking. All right, good. Same region, keep everything the same. storage type, we're going to use azure blob storage. Okay, and you notice here it's also data lake storage Gen 2. All right, we use standard, and we're using just we're going to use a zone redundant storage. Okay. All right, next we're going to go with um, all this will be default on here. Any storage. Now here you'll see the enable hierarchical namespace. What this will do is actually turn it into a data lake. Okay, I took it down here for you guys. That if you enable it, it's turns your storage into a data lake, right? Which is designed for big data analytics, for simple storing and serving files for my web app, standard storage account. Okay, so that remains disabled. And then let's see, we're going to go down here. Yeah, hot. We want to keep it hot because it's going to be used a lot. All right, let's go to next. We got network, public network access enabled. Enable ROM, which is what I need. Private endpoints great. All right, that's going to stay there. So next. All right, this is going to be just all stayed the same. It's not, I'm not using production. Some of those you want to tighten up a little bit. Okay, encryption type. Again, that's not going to be self-managed for me right now. It's going to be convenient and useful. Enable support for blobs, tables, files, and keys for this. Okay, so I want to use blobs. It can't be changed. Show what you're doing. Okay. Now, if you go to tags again, whatever, it's going to tag it. Then you'll do the validation. Okay. That's going to put you in a create, which we're going to back out of that as well because we don't want to actually create the service. All right, so we're going to go back on with this just to get that out of memory. Okay, so now we've got what we've got actually implemented is no, okay, that's the okay, obviously AI chop chop. All right, so under AI chop chop, you can see now the services we set up, but it's actually for the AI chop chop. So we got the storage account here for our blobs. We got our SQL database, which spawned the SQL server. Okay? And then we've got our cache. Okay, so this will all be on the same resource group. Everything good there. Now, from here on, we make the front end, the back end, the worker, everything else I need, which will take care of that. Also, another good thing you could do here, because you can spin up any kind of virtual machine you want. If you want to create a resource of like things do try that. All right, so you could just do like a virtual machine, whatever image you want to do. I think they got Kali Linux pre-configs on here, free account on here. It's a Ubuntu virtual machine, all sorts of stuff you can do on here, which is great. Now you have another option too if you want to do something more local. I've got a database set up here for some stuff, but you can run, spin up the virtual machines here and run them on Proxmox. If you've got an old laptop laying around, it's a good resource to use. Proxmox runs smooth on it. I've done it many times. It's easy to cluster on, lower grade equipment. I've got enterprise grade servers that are running on as well. But this is just, a little setup on a little Dell mini. Okay. But also, with using an Azure server, here I've got it's called Teapot. It's a cool project you want to do. Set up honeypot, a network. And what you can do with this is also gather some information. All this information is stored in the database, obviously, but it'll give you some insight to what's going on. This hasn't been up for 48 hours yet. It actually was down for a little bit, but rest. And I've had 47,000 attacks in less than 24 hours. It gives you like kind of mapping what's going on, breakdowns on it too. So this is a little project you can do. So you can do like a cloud-based little hacking lab if you wanted to go as far as like spin up Proxmox. If you want to, you got your Steam, everything here, analytics, all that good stuff, and then put it into your database. If you want to spin up a target computer, use your targeted attack, something or C2C into a botnet. You can keep it all network. Azure is pretty cool about that because as far as you can be on your VLAN. You don't have to have expose it to a public IP where we do sandbox at Rogo, but everything's virtual, so it's never going to touch your equipment. So it's a good way to stay safe as well. So I just want to show you guys this stuff, maybe relate some stuff to you as far as databases and show you how it works as far as it's not really complex when you're doing something like this. It's an image. So, but thank you very much for watching. Also, if you check out on my channel, I believe I also have a setup for Proxmox on a virtual machine or on a old laptop. So if you're interested in that, it's there for you to check it out as a resource. I've also got some scam baiting videos. If you guys like to watch bad guys get their stuff handed to them, it's pretty fun. Thank you guys very much.